And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I am back with another edition of the Squad Tips series, where I take your squads and provide you with some nice tips to make smart financial decisions. So, shout out to my man. I don't know if it's Mir or Mar. Be tight if it was Myrrh. I don't really know what Myrrh is. I mean, it comes bundled with like frankincense and stuff, like Christmas wise, but if you guys are new to the series, essentially, like I said, you guys submit your squads to me either on Twitter or on YouTube itself, and then I provide you with tips that will help you, I don't know, for lack of a better term, better your squad and your life in NBA 2K21, my team. Got a nice, crispy, sparkling water here. Either way, shout out to Mir. I hope I'm saying that right. Yo, can you give me any suggestions? I got 200k, just need a better lineup, open to everything. So this is the lineup right here. Yeah, definitely can help you out for sure. You got a pretty nice stable like big men down here. I personally, if I was to get rid of any of these guys, it'd probably be Horace Grant. Like, I would probably go Ayton at center, McAdoo at power forward, and probably Horace Grant out of here. That would be my guess. Wiseman and Curry are fine. For the most part, you have 200k, so you have plenty of changes to make here. One change I would make right off the bat is to get rid of Archibald and go straight for Rudy Fernandez. Like, you can get him for about 9k, and he definitely plays the point guard well. I think he plays the point guard probably just as well, just as well as shooting guard. I mean, it's relatively the same. He's basically a 6'6" Steph Curry, and then obviously you would move Rudy Fernandez up to the starting lineup. Personally, I would do this, right? You move Luka. Why'd you keep Rudy? Move Luka over, pick up Rudy Fernandez, boom. Now you're looking good. You're looking real good right there, right? That already kind of helps your squad out significantly. Right off the bat, you don't even have to do anything major or anything of that nature. And then looking at the bench, I would say, man, picking up Boris Diaw is going to be clutch, right? You can pick him up for about 10k as well. You can really rebuild your team without having to spend that much MT, all things considered. Or you can move Mitch Richmond over potentially and then pick up Sean Elliott. But I think this right here is definitely something that's going to help your squad out. Like this remake to your squad will cost you about 40k MT. You had Rudy Fernandez for about 10, Boris Diaw for about 10 or 11, and then Sean Elliott from somewhere between 16 and 20. That instantly takes your team to the next level. And Sean Elliott is big enough to play the small forward positions. Other guys that you could definitely look at would be one of my favorite players, Jalen Rose. For sure, another guy that you can look at would be Bonga. Bonga's another super duper cheap option that you could pick up for relatively cheap. Another guy you could look at is Simbular or Sean Bradley. Like, both of those guys can definitely be upgrades over Ayton or McAdoo if you really want to go that route. Just kind of depends how you feel about DeAndre Ayton, but these guys are all misnomers, like, or suggestions, but I think this squad right here, because Mitch Richmond's still fire. Like, you do not have to get rid of Mitch Richmond. If you wanted to get rid of Mitch Richmond, this is definitely, like, you could go with, like, even Darius Miles right here for relatively cheap, and this is an incredibly good squad. Or you can shift Sean Elliott over to the shooting guard, run with, like, Jalen Rose or Bonga at the small forward, both of which are going to be relatively cheap as well. There's a lot of options here, and I think this is the best way to go about it for the cheap, because we don't really know what's coming, and we probably are going to get invincible packs or something over the next 2 weeks. We're probably going to get next packs, so you don't want to use all your MT, but this is a complete team rebuild that you can get across for like 40k. And honestly, most of that's coming from Sean Elliott, so you could realistically go even cheaper and go with like Bonga or Jalen Rose, get similar production, but I think Sean Elliott is legitimately one of the best two guards in the game. And you can pick them up for literally like 20k or less. So, shout out to you, man. I really hope that helped you out. I think this is a really quick retool for the squad. Russell Westbrook's fine if you want to use him. Like, you can still get away with it. You don't really have to get rid of him necessarily. That's just my suggestion to make your team better. All right, so next up, we got my man Noah Murphy. Probably shouldn't read full names out here, but I don't think half of them are real anyway. Luka Terry Dissinger. All right, I like what's happening here. Kawahi. All right. Bam. Triple threat spotlight. Bam. Eddie Curry. Okay. Yeah, I like what's happening there. And then you're only running 3 people on the bench. Okay. Jerry West, Peja, interesting. Okay, and Christian Wood. All right. Christian Wood's still fire. There is no reason to get rid of him. You can run him at the center or the power forward. Realistically, let's check your MT amount. So current gen, no money spent. You have 120k MT. You green the most with Kawhi/Luka, least with Jerry West. And for my playstyle, you like to shoot a lot of threes with ball movement. Love the content/channel. Thank you. Okay, right off the bat for 120k, I would keep some of your MT because you don't really know what we're going to be getting for the next couple weeks. Instant upgrades right off the bat. Depending how you play, you said you do a lot of it depends how you play. Like if you're a dribble god, which judging by your team, it's tough to really tell if you are or not. You know what I mean? This team is it's tough to tell. Like if you had like Bull right here and then someone else right here, I'd be like, okay, he's a dribble god, speed booster. He's probably gonna like Sean Bradley a lot. I don't like him on current gen. Same with Simbular. Simbular's fine on current gen. To be honest with you, but he does present some issues. If you really like Peja, I don't think there's really any reason to get rid of him. So let's focus on the shooting guard position. As far as shooting guards go, there's a lot of good ones to consider. Let's just fill this spot up. Obviously, Rudy Fernandez is incredibly good. You can pick him up for 9K. Darius Miles, obviously someone I like a lot. I spelled it like dairy, like milk. Darius Miles, obviously someone that I still really like and one of my favorite cards in the game. Other options, there's quite a bit of them, to be honest with you. You have there's a lot of good budget cards out there right now. Like, I don't know, how do you feel about J.R. Smith clones? Like, that's also an interesting question as well. You could also go pick up Danny Ferry. Like, Danny Ferry's not a joke out here in the streets either. Gerald Green misses a lot of white, so I would advise not picking him up. Honestly, if you want to do it for the cheap, dude, here's a guy to pick up right here, Pascal. He's super good too. 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan, plays really good defense, has a pretty solid overall jumper, like base 34. It's a jumper you're probably not too familiar with, but it's definitely usable. If you want to, I don't really think it's necessary to spring money on like Rudy or anybody, just because you have Dissinger already. But I think Pascal makes a lot of sense. In the same vein, like Darius Miles and Rudy Fernandez also will make a lot of sense for you. I think those two guys would also be really, really good pickups. If you wanted to move Christian Wood over to the center position, you could obviously pick up, honestly, I would do this. Bam off the bench. Or you could obviously pick up Simbular. He's just not as good on current gen. Something to consider. Boris Diaw at power forward. That's a lethal starting five right there, like straight up. And then on the bench, you can kind of, maneuver in any way, shape, or form that you would like to maneuver. Obviously, don't sleep on Sean Elliott either, who I've talked about a bunch of times. If you're not a fan of Sean Elliott per se, Jaylen Brown is actually really good too. You can pick him up for around 25K. He's actually more expensive than Sean Elliott for some reason. I don't really know what that's all about. But if you're looking for more of a 3-and-D guy with a different jump shot, he's really not bad at all. I personally would go with Rudy Fernandez or Sean Elliott over him, but that's another option for you if you wanted to go that route. Like I said, if you like Peja, stick with Peja. You could also go with Danny Ferry. He is a little bit pricier, around the 30K mark. It's something to kind of consider also, but dude, he is nice though. Like, it's Danny Ferry. He's sick. But Eric Pascal's a really cheap option. You can pick him up for like 5.6K. I don't know. It's kind of tough, dude, to be honest with you. There's a lot of good shooting guard options, so I'm going to provide as many of them as I possibly can. I think Elliott's a little bit better on next gen, but he's still really, really good on current gen. That base 32 that he has is just base 29. So easy to green. It's just so good. Darius Miles is 6'9", big body, real smooth jumper. Rudy Fernandez has Curry base, so it's something that you're looking for. Like, he's good on both gens as well. Boris Diaw is a near perfect card. Like, he's pretty much maxed out in every stat and badge. Eric Pascal, very, very good 3-and-D guy. Kind of an iffy jump shot for some people. I personally like it. And obviously, if you wanted to get rid of Peja Stojakovic, there's some options for that too, being like Jalen Rose. Sean Elliott can also play the small forward at a pretty high clip. It just kind of depends what you want to go with it. So I hope this helped you out, at least give you some options to think about. And also, we're getting content tomorrow, the Hyperdrive set or whatever it's going to be called tomorrow. probably going to be full of a bunch of like random players that might be good, they might not be. Like, if you're looking at the first hyperdrive set, like Josh Smith is good, just a little bit too expensive. Sean Elliott is a god tier budget card. But even guys like Karan Butler or Jaylen Brown are relatively good. So it just kind of depends exactly what you're looking for. But I'm hoping that this will help you out at all. So thank you for submitting the squad. Next up, the Mind of Me. Interesting. So we got Brandon Roy with Speed Grinches. That has been specified. Okay. Scary Terry's out here, as he is, I'm assuming, on a lot of squads, to be honest with you. Danny Ferry, Dark Matter. Yep, okay. Pink Diamond Bull. All right. Okay. DeAndre Ayton. This is a staple of No Money Spent squads. Bonga at point guard. Well, cool. That takes that off my plate. Rudy Fernandez. Gladiator Siakam. Still good. You know I'm not telling you to get rid of my man Pascal. Eddie Curry at power forward. And Gobert at center. Okay. Let me see what's up with this. 30K MT, playstyle, open threes and driving to the basket. Current gen, green with Ferry and Roy the most. Okay. Well, honestly, there's not a whole lot to really change on your squad. Rudy Gobert is kind of a red flag. I don't really like him very much, and to be honest, with just his playstyle in general, I literally think you'd be better off going with someone like Sim Bhullar or Sean Bradley. Even though I don't like those guys that much on current gen, they're both still better than Rudy Gobert. In my opinion, like they both play defense at about the same level. They're about the same speed. They're all kind of in like the mid 80s or something, or high 80s, I believe, in speed. These two guys just bring you a little bit more ball handling, and both of them, in my opinion, have a little bit better of a jumper. Sim Bhullar actually is a very good jumper with Larry Bird base. Sean Bradley is just meh. I don't really like it, but if you like Bull's jumper, it's pretty similar. So I would just honestly, that's the only change I would make is picking up one of these guys. Both of them are going to run you like 8 to 10K. At the most, I would say, because Sim Bhullar's fallen off price-wise a little bit, so he's closer to 20, I think, but Sean Bradley's like around 8, 10K. And I think that's really the only upgrade you have to make on your squad. Or you can just wait for tomorrow. Maybe we'll get like another budget center or somebody that'll be like crazy. Who knows? Because I don't even think really picking up Diao is an incredible upgrade over any of these guys. Like, really? I don't. As much as I like the card, I don't know how much of an upgrade he realistically is going to be over someone like Bonga or someone like Eddie Curry. At least to justify when you have such little MT. But upgrading over Gobert with like Sean Bradley or Bhullar, or even going back to like a Dino Raja or somebody, it's like also like a pretty solid option, or just waiting for tomorrow. So, shout out to you. I hope this helped at all. Next up, Karan Kashkal. I hope I'm saying that right. Please, just know I tried. Luka Doncic. Okay. Invincible Clay. Okay. Kevin Durant from Team USA. All right. Good pickup. Danny Ferry at the power forward. This Danny Ferry's fine at the power forward. Now, you say Dark Matter Wilt, so I'm guessing it's Glitch Wilt. Yeah, because you would have said Invincible. You specified the rest of them, so. Invincible Big Blake. Wait, does that say Magic Johnson at shooting guard? All right. Dude, I like what you got going on here. Dennis Rodman? Okay. I'm not laughing at your squad. I love it. Like, unironically, I do. It's great. All right, so you got 700K MT, mostly play offline with some occasional TTF for agendas. Not sure how much MT I should really be saving or spending at this point in the game, so probably not trying to go all out for a card unless I really need to. Playstyle involves 3 hunting, rim running, and kicks and drives on offense with man-to-man and no switching on defense for the most part. Okay, cool. Green the most with Luka, Clay, AD, and Magic. Thanks. All right, well, this makes sense. This is why you're running Magic at the 2 guard. I mean, if you're wet with Magic, continue to run him at the 2 guard. I don't really know where to go with this team. You green the most with a couple of the guys I probably would have told you to get rid of. Alonzo Mourning is actually good. Though I would recommend looking for like a new center in the next couple of days. Like, realistically. As far as the content we're getting this week, we'll probably either present you with a new center that you can use, or it will present you with another guy who might be just slightly better than Alonzo Mourning. So you're on current gen, so I don't even know necessarily if Sean Bradley or Simbular or even... I mean, I know he's been out for a while, so you probably have used him before, but I personally prefer Dino over Alonzo Mourning in every single fashion. That's just me. Now, that's not necessary completely or anything, but it's definitely something to take into consideration. I like him a lot. Obviously, Sean Bradley and Simbular are really good. You could even run AD at the center position and then pick up Boris Diaw. But if you're a big Alonzo Mourning fan, then there's absolutely nothing to change about your team. I love the chaotic energy your team is like putting forth right now. Just because it's so unmeta, it's almost meta to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like outside of Durant and Danny Ferry, and I guess Luka Doncic, but pretty much everyone has him at this point. Like it's not really that big of a deal. Same with Ferry, I guess. But you really don't have any like meta guys with meta jump shots down here on the bench unit, and I actually love that. Even in the starting lineup, like you're still running Wilt, you're running Clay. I can't tell you how much I love this team. I mean, I guess the only thing I would say would be like if you don't like Mourning, consider replacing him. Either move AD to the center position and then run like Boris Diaw at power forward, or potentially somebody else. Like it doesn't really matter, I guess. Or maybe like a Simbular or like a Sean Bradley. You just have to understand that they're going to be slow and sluggish, but they are also like almost 8 feet tall. So it's something to think about. But your team's pretty good. I would just wait for this upcoming week's content and kind of go from there. So shout out to you for submitting the squad. Sorry I don't have more stuff to really improve your squad. But, I mean, the guys that I would normally recommend switching out, you're the most green with. So there's absolutely no point in getting rid of them. Shout out to Magic Johnson, you know what I mean? That's crazy. I respect this dude's team so much. I literally cannot put it into words. All right. All right. Here, this next team. Jeez. All right. Jerry West. Terry Dissinger. Okay. Bailey Howell. You guys starting to notice a trend here. Danny Ferry. The trend will become evident shortly. Sean Bradley. This is actually a meta team. That's the worst part. This is the worst part about this. Is this Richard Van Arsdale? It is indeed Richard Van Arsdale. Larry Bird. Okay. I love this team. I love this team straight up so much. Brian Scalabrine. Chandler Parsons, no way, at the center. And Nico Mannion. I'm sorry, I forgot Nico. Okay, all right. Okay, this is an all-white guy squad. This is the Apex all-white guy squad. Not even a European inside. I think Nico Mannion is technically European. I don't know where he's from exactly, but he's also a ginger, so I think that kind of cancels out, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, I don't even know what tips to give you here. This is kind of interesting. I mean, outside of you really need Invincible Larry Bird. Like, that's for sure. You definitely need Invincible Larry Bird. Let me just look through my old player catalog here and see if I can't find you any replacements here. I mean, you got Danny Ferry. I knew you were going to get him right away. Yeah, I think the worst part is like you look at this team on paper and you're like, this team sucks, right? But then you actually go to play with this team, and because it's 2K, it's actually fire. Like, it's super heat. Like, this team is like ridiculously good. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't make sense. I would say for the bench unit, you definitely do need Christian Laettner, though. I feel like that's definitely a person that you're going to need. If you're trying to build this kind of themed squad, I feel like not having Christian Laettner is actually offensive to Christian Laettner, because this is the only all-time team he would ever make. You know what I mean? Outside of that, yeah, I feel like you got to get Tyler Hero. I feel like Tyler Hero is almost necessary to play the point guard position instead of Nico Mannion. He is the most overhyped white guy, at least in the last 5 years. So he should definitely be running point for you. Like, there's no question about it. And I know this is Larry Bird, so I know it almost sound sacrilegious to say it, but I just honestly feel like Duncan Robinson is a better card at the small forward. I just generally do. So I feel like these three guys are must pickups for you. At the center position, you're kind of out of luck. I don't really know who exactly you would pick up. Yeah, dude, I literally don't know. Like, because every, like, really tight center is, like, European. And I'm pretty sure, like, due to your lack of European guys on the squad, pretty sure no Europeans allowed up in here. So, I don't know. I'm gonna look though. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm on every center. Like, I'm gonna find you one. Oh, dude. Do you have George Mikan? Whoa. Get back. Tell me you have George Mikan. You have to, right? Because George Mikan's perfect for this squad. Or Kevin McHale, perhaps. If you could go grind for that McHale. I know that one's kind of a pain. Or if you could grind for Mark Eaton. Yeah, no, you have to grind for Mark Eaton, dude. This Mark Eaton just makes too much sense for this squad. Shout out to you, Smalls. I appreciate you for submitting this squad because I always really enjoy trying to tweak your all-stale white guy lineup because it's always fun. All right, final squad. Shout out to my man Big Jack for submitting the squad. We got Bonga starting at point guard. I get frazzled every time I see the white guy squad, dude. Because, like, I feel like I'm, like, rating a parochial league, like, squad. Gerald Green. Oh, you just got the whole fan favorite set up in here already. All right, I like what's happening here. Brian Scalabrine and Christian Wood. Christian Wood's fire. No question about it. Isaiah Thomas. Okay, see, here's the thing. I know you're seeing Isaiah Thomas and you're going to think, oh, he's going to tell him to get rid of Isaiah Thomas. No, this guy has been a fan of my channel for a while. I know he actually likes Isaiah Thomas, so I'm not even going to tell you to get rid of him because I know you mostly play offline and you generally like IT, so I'm going to say keep him. Bobby Jones and Nurkic. Okay. So you're working with about 3,000 MT. So right off the bat, though, I see that your three bench bronze guys, Nick Richards, Theo Pinson, and Ignas Brezdikas, all three of those guys are going for 2K plus, right? So if you were to sell all three of those guys, you could literally get yourself about 6K. And then combined with your 3K, you could afford to literally go pick up a different big man or a different power forward or just one of the guys who came out in the fan favorite set that's a little bit more pricey. The guy in question could be any amount of them. I would say the one definite upgrade I would make would be Sean Bradley. Like, if you sell, like, some of those bronzes in your collection, you get up to, like, 8, 9K. I think Sean Bradley is definitely an improvement for your squad, especially because you play offline. He is a little bit of he's a little sluggish, for sure. But at the same time, he's definitely better than Nurkic. I feel like that's, like, not even contestable. I feel like there's no way you could say he's not better than Nurkic. As for the rest of the squad, I think with the amount of MT you have, there's not really too many moves you can make. But going in your collection, selling some of your bronzes out and just picking up Sean Bradley will make a world of difference. And obviously waiting for, tomorrow's content and Friday's content. Hopefully you get some free grindable stuff. I don't know. But this is probably the move that makes your team significantly better for the least amount of MT. So I hope that really helped you out. As always, it has been your boy Cheap Loots. Thanks for watching the Squad Tips series. Check the description for all my stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.